Last year, that role, as I think a big part of that is because he got better as a blocker and was able to kind of do more in the pass game as well. But he was hovering more close to that 70, 80, 90% of offensive snaps for most of the games last year. And it's just going off what you just said, I think this year it really could hover around 100% just because when you look at that tight end room right now, he is that top guy. And then you look at the rest of the receivers, it's like, okay, Amari is probably going to be getting the biggest chunk of targets per game. And then after that, it's really kind of wide open. And now that you know Njoku's going to be your top tight end, it's like maybe he's that second receiving option now. You know, maybe he can get that chemistry going with Deshaun and work the middle of the field a little bit. And if that works, then I mean, he could be seeing a very high volume of targets each game.
Yeah, I think he's going to be incredibly productive too. I mean, he's a guy, last year for most of the season was right around 10 yards a target, so 80 targets, 800 yards. I mean, it's certainly all there for the Chief. And last year, the two of them had about 120 targets, he and Hooper combined. You feel like he's going to see the majority of hoops, and some are going to obviously trickle down to Harrison Bryant. But that means, like I said, 80 to even 100 targets is not outside the realm of possibility.
And I think his catching has just gotten better too. Like last year was a career high for him. I think he had a 68% catch percentage last year and only 2 drops. So, and those were both the best of his career. So I think he's definitely improved in that regard. He's got more comfortable and confident just catching the football, whether it's a short pass, a medium pass, or even sometimes a deep ball. We saw them try to go deep to David a few times last year. So I think just his growth as a pass catcher is going to be huge for what this passing offense wants to kind of become now that Deshaun is at the helm, and they've sort of reworked a lot of the pieces there.
Yeah, talking with Anthony Poisal, the Browns staff writer right here in studio. All right, AP, through 2 weeks of OTAs, have you developed any pet cats? And a pet cat is somebody that you just are like, okay, that's my guy. And usually typically not like a frontline superstar, but somebody that's caught your eye and that you're like, all right, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm going to be ready to pound the table for this guy. Yeah,
definitely. And I talked about him, I think, the last time I was on the show. And I will say that it is still early, but I've been really impressed by what David Bell has brought to the table so far. I don't think he's dropped the pass, at least in the work that I've seen him put in.
Yeah, nice touchdown today.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting open. He's getting targets from Deshaun, whether that's by design in practice or not. I mean, it's really intriguing just the fact that he's doing exactly what, the coaches thought that they were getting out of him when they drafted him, which is he's going to get open and he's going to catch passes. Like, yes, he might not be the fastest receiver on the field, but that doesn't matter as long as you're getting open and finding ways to get the football. And I think that's what he's shown through just, the couple practices that I've seen so far. And I mean, if he keeps up, I will be very on the David Bell train as far as this guy can very much take a big role in this offense as soon as this year.
Yeah.
I think the fact that the slot role is very open for him means that, if he keeps doing it, like, it's not like the Browns are going to be, oh, well, he's just a rookie, let's ease him into it. Like, no, they're going to be ready to bring him into that role, like, instantly if he keeps showing what he's showing in practice and through training camp.
Yeah, and he's somebody whose play has picked up from week 1 to week 2 as he's more comfortable. And as I said, I talked with Alex Van Pelt for the BPA, and he said that when Bell knows his assignment, because he's learning so much in the playbook, he said and he's playing fast, he has been very good. Gets open, and as you said, catches everything. Had a great touchdown catch in the red zone period, right at the back of the end zone today, and had a couple big catches on those crossers yesterday. So David Bell, you like. This is a fun one, and Gibbe, listen to this. So I was doing the Browns breakdowns, which are going to be coming out, where we watch some tape of MJ Emerson with Jeff Howard, the Browns defensive backs coach, and just a fine human as well.
Yeah.
And so we were watching a clip of MJ against Jamison Williams from Alabama was one of the ones. And Jamison he was one-on-one totally on an island, tries to run like a dig, and then it's kind of a scramble drill, and he stays with him and ends up getting a PBU. And at the end of it, he goes like this, MJ Emerson.
Like a celebration?
Yeah, his celebration was this.
He put the sword in his pocket?
So that's what sword in his pocket. That's what, and Jeff Howard, that was my initial reaction. What it is he's saying he's strapping him up like in a seatbelt, like he's putting the seatbelt on because he's got him strapped and locked up, which is good.
That's a real good one. I've not seen that one before.
Yeah, so I don't know. Listen, he's still a young player, but I think we see a lot of this out of our DBs, a lot of the incomplete, but I feel like strap him up on a man coverage. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, he's everything that you would kind of want, I think, in a cornerback right now, and he's got that tall frame that the coaches are obviously really excited about, and they're going to kind of keep working him into the defense, but it sounds like he's going to get opportunities to do that this year, right?
No doubt.
And they have a really deep cornerback room and just overall secondary, but it sounds like they're kind of ready to give him a chance to take a big role in that and kind of get maybe somewhat of a rotation going. I know he was an option to possibly be, in the slot this year, but, Greg Newsome, it kind of has been taking most of the slot snaps there so far. But, I think we'll kind of see over the course of these next few weeks just kind of how ready he is and how much they're kind of going to be ready to kind of put on his plate once the season starts.
So here's an interesting thing that stood out to me yesterday when watching our secondary, which I thought had a very good day yesterday, with MJ. So MJ's an outside corner.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Greedy on the outside, Denzel on the outside. Now Denzel's done some work in the slot as well in this early OTA period. Greg's your starting slot. He's been great at it. And then they're working other guys in. We haven't seen MJ play slot yet. But we have seen him, and this happened yesterday, for a handful of snaps. We have seen him play some dime. So he's playing that dime backer role where they come in when they go the 3 safety look, and he's playing that. And that gives the Browns an opportunity. If this is something that he can learn, that gives the Browns an opportunity to really play a 4-corner dime, not give up their physicality, because if you watch Emerson's tape, he's a very physical tackler. But it allows them to be in some man situations on the good tight ends. And imagine, he's 6'2". So now all of a sudden, let's say you have him covering a Mark Andrews.
Right.
That's a different level of cover guy than we've ever been able to have in that role in the past. And so we'll see if he's able to do it. It's not something he's ever done before. And in the man, that's no problem. He can play the man portion of dime, but learning the zone stuff from the inside, his responsibilities, that's something that'll be an interesting evolution to watch. But if he can do that, I think MJ Emerson can play quite a bit as a rookie.
Right, and I think having all those options is one thing that Joe Woods really wanted to build with this defense, right? Because in the past defenses that he's coached, he's had those kind of dime and nickel options where he can kind of adjust week to week based on what the matchups look like, and then based on just how the game is flowing, who he wants to put in there at what times and against what players. And so to have a player like Emerson, who's this big, tall guy that can match up against guys, like you said, a big tight end, or maybe it's another big physical receiver, whether it's somebody in the slot or the outside.
Sure.
Like, if you can mold him into sort of a versatile player, or even just somebody that can play more than just the outside cornerback role, that's going to be a huge benefit. And Joe Woods is definitely going to take advantage of that, because that's what he looks to do with defenses. He wants to make everybody he wants to make every defense as versatile as he can make it, so that way there's no mismatches week to week with a receiver or anybody that they're going up against.
You think about the speed that would be on the field if you had, let's just call it, Greedy and Denzel outside, Greg inside. You would have in the dime backer role MJ Emerson, JOK at linebacker, or Jacob Phillips at linebacker, Grant and John Johnson. I mean, the speed and the length and the ability of those people to cover. And I think Gready's going to have a great year. I really do. He's got the harnesses off. You can tell he looks more comfortable out there. He's had a great start to camp as well. Yeah, this D could be pretty special. All right, AP, we'll get you out of here on this one. What do you think about people overreacting to a clip from a 7-on-7 at OTA number 5?
I mean, it's OTAs. Like, this is May. We just got to June.
June now. That's right.
It's one play. Like, I think you just said it before I hopped on here. Like, they want Deshaun to throw 350 passes. Not all of them are going to be completions or incompletions.
Did you listen to my opening segment today, AP? Were you at your desk? Were you locked into the show?
No, I just heard I heard what you were just saying before I rolled into the room.
Demerit. Yeah.
But no, like, this is what. The point of this is to get the kinks out, right? And so interceptions in some ways can be, hey, let's look at what went wrong, so that way, whether it's a miscommunication or just maybe a poor throwing decision, like, you can work this out.
And by the way,
it's one play.
It's our defense. He didn't throw an interception to the Bengals.
Yeah,
or the
like
Ravens.
maybe it was a great play by our defense.
We have a great defense.
Right.
They're going to make plays too.
Right. I thought it was a good play. Like, when you look at a certain camera angle that I saw on social media, like, John Johnson kind of came out of nowhere.
He did.
So look, like, it's June.
That's
not the games don't count for another 3-4 months here. So, and the practices don't count for until training camp, really. That's when you maybe can kind of start to look and be like, okay, how's everybody looking? But even still, like, before the game starts, it's just, there's no point in looking at one play and making some broad judgment or getting too worked up about it, or as our friend Ken Carman likes to say, getting worked into a shoot. Because I feel like we've seen a lot about that on social media.
That's the cousin of Mo Pedman on this program, AP. That's Mo Pedman's cousin. That's how we refer to that gentleman.
Yeah.
On this program.
Yeah.
All right, AP, what's coming up from you in your writing world at ClevelandBrowns.com?
We'll just have more in-depth coverage of OTAs. We'll have another round of it next week. I know we've got this golf outing on Monday, so I'll definitely have hopefully some fun sights and scenes from that. I know you guys will if you're able to.
Maybe.
Put.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
For 3 minutes, dude. Yeah, 3 minutes.
I mean, the weather can change in an instant here, so we'll just see.
All right. Let's all everybody out there do your anti-rain dance as though you were a golfer that wanted to play in this event. If my flight, you know what I'm going to do? If my flight gets here, I'm going to come right here and I'm going to smack you. That's what I'm going to do. All right. We will be back. Hour number 2 of Cleveland Browns Daily coming your way again. Check out AP's great work, clevelandbrowns.com, the Browns mobile app. Coming up at 2, we'll hear from, an exclusive one-on-one. Yours truly. No, that's what it says right here. Oh, from the podium. And then tomorrow you get the exclusive one-on-one. Make them wait for Friday. Friday, it's getting down on Friday. That's where me and Preef one-on-one, that's magic. I'll tell you that right now. It's already happened, and it was magical. You're going to enjoy that. Preef enjoyed it. He told me so today. All right, hour number 2, Cleveland Browns Daily coming up here, 8:50 ESPN Cleveland. Rumpke Waste and Recycling is a family-owned and operated company. Whether you join them as a customer or as an employee, you'll become a part of the family. Visit Rumpke, www.rumpke.com, to learn more. We go to the podium once again, and now we hear from Brown's special teams coordinator Mike Prefer from yesterday's media availability.
Of talent for teams this year. So could you just talk maybe about how
You're down.
all your new guys?
Sure. So in free agency, we signed Jakeem Grant, which I thought was a piece that we were missing. I've been part of some really good teams in the past where we've had excellent returners, whether it was Percy Harvin or Cordero Patterson or Marcus Sherrills in Minnesota. And when I got here, we've had guys that have done a really, really nice job of securing the ball, which is obviously, first and foremost, securing the ball is the number one thing, obviously. So we've done a nice job there, but we need more production. We need to up the ante a little bit. We're playing in what my opinion is the best division in football when it comes to special teams. Every team's really good. In order to keep up with those guys, we needed to sign a good returner, and I think we did that. So I'm excited about Jakeem. The punting game, obviously, we were very inconsistent last year, and we had to make the change. And then down the stretch, we had, Dustin did a good job as a veteran punter and brought a veteran presence to our team. But having these two young guys fight it out, having Corey and Joe fight it out, it'll be a great competition. They both had really good days. Yesterday, Thursday, they both punted the ball extremely well. They bring a different element. They have both very, very strong, very good directionally, which we need to do a better job with. And so I'm excited about them. And of course, in the draft, drafting a kicker in the 4th round, which is not that unusual, but doesn't happen that often. I thought Andrew, pulling the trigger on that one was big for us. And, we needed to have more consistency there. We were very good on kickoffs a year ago. We should continue that, I hope, too, with the kicker we have. It starts with the kicker. And then, obviously, we have a very difficult venue to kick in. And then Cade, he'll come in, he's big, he's strong. He's very confident. He understands his craft. He's young. We've already had him down to the stadium, I think, 3 times. We're going again tomorrow. We're going to go again during the mini camp in a couple weeks. So the more confident he is in our stadium, the better kicker he will be, because he's got all the talent in the world. We just got to keep getting him to be more consistent.
When we talked to you in January, you talked about drafting a kicker and how you don't draft somebody just to draft somebody. It has to be the right guy, the right fit. I guess in your evaluation of Cade, what made him the right guy to make that move?
He is a kicker that obviously won a national championship as a freshman. You guys all talked, we all talked about the fog kick, but he was 15 of 19 for 50 plus. He made, I think he missed 6 kicks from 40 to 49 as a freshman, and ever since then he's been unbelievable. So he's a lights out kicker. He loves the big stage, and he's performed in the big stage, and I think that was really big part of the evaluation. So I spent extra time with him at the combine, the normal time, and then I spent extra time with him the next day. Went down to Baton Rouge and took him out to eat and got to know him a little bit, what makes him tick. Got to a good feel for how confident he is. I don't want to say cocky, but I think he's very confident in what he is as a kicker, what he is as a person, which I really liked a lot. And then the next day we watched tape from the combine. Didn't have a great combine, so it made no excuses. We mentioned a couple things. We talked about a couple technique deals, and then we went out and he had a really good workout for me. And of course, I stayed in touch with him in the pre-draft process, and then watched his pro day. He had a great pro day. So everything leading up to the draft was very, very positive with Cade. And to me, the sky's the limit. I mean, he could be really, really good, and I'm excited about him. And he is the right guy. He's the right guy for our stadium, for our city, and for the division that we play in.
Mike, when you guys made that trade on Friday night of the draft, were you thinking in the 4th we're going to get this guy, or maybe even speaking up for?
When we made the trade, I'll be honest with you, I had tears streaming down my face. I was a very happy man. And then I think we traded the first pick of the 4th round, right? Is that right? And I was like, oh boy, here we go. So, but yeah, I think once we made that trade, we had talked about it. Of course, I'm not privy to all the information, nor do I want to be. I got too much going on in this little brain of mine. But once we made that trade, you're right. I knew we had an opportunity we were going to get him in the 4th round. And I'm looking at all the teams before and after, and who's coming up in the draft, and who needs a kicker. And I was worried about some other teams. But when Andrew pulled the trigger in the fourth round, that was a big deal.
Mike, I don't know what this is statistically true throughout the league, but is that 40 to 49 range for some reason more difficult than even beyond 50? Because like Chase last year, he was 4 of 10 from that 40 to 50,
right.
49,
right.
But fine after that. And you just mentioned that same thing about Cade.
Yeah, well, that was his freshman year, and ever since then he's been really good. I think that's kind of your money kick, 40 to 49, 50 plus. You're like, you're hoping to make 60, 65% maybe, but 40 to 49 in this league, you got to be 90%. And that's where we struggled a little bit down the stretch last year. And, did he make those big kicks? Sure. He made the 50-plus, made a 57-yarder in our stadium and did some really good things for us. But down the stretch, we missed too many and hurt our football team too many times, and we got to make sure we make those kicks. And as you guys know, most of these games are one-score games in our league, and especially in our division, so we got to make sure that we make those kicks to help our team.
There's been a lot of questions about Cade and the kickoffs because we didn't get a chance to really do that at LSU, considering they had such a good specialist there.
Yeah.
Just what have you seen from him in the little bit that you've gotten to see with him doing that?
Just by watching him kick field goals, he had a big leg, and then he confirmed that for us at the combine. He confirmed it for his workout I had with him, and then the pro day workout, and then the work we've had here. He'll be fine on kickoffs. He's got a big leg. He doesn't try to overkick it and overdo it. He trusts his technique. And really, the other day we had a little bit of tailwind, and we like to hang it up and cover because we were so good in cover last year. So we're trying to work on that, and he couldn't really do it. He had too much wind behind him. He kept knocking him 70, 75 yards, 4.3, 4.4 hang time. So he's definitely has the leg strength. We just have to refine exactly how we want certain kicks kicked. And he's got to understand this is not college football, where they like to just bombs away and kick touchbacks. We're not like that. We're gonna have a time we need touchbacks, but we have hang kickoffs, we got liners, we got squibs, we got mortars, we got surprise onsides, must onside. So there's a whole different, whole bunch of clubs in his bag that he needs to get good at, and that's the stuff that he really needs to work on because he really never did it in college, but he has the ability to do so.
What's the theory of not bringing in another kicker, and have you ever been in a camp with one kicker?
Yeah, we've done it before. I think we just have to limit his kicks because he is young. He wants to kick all the time, which is good. He wants to continue to get better, so I'll make sure I rein him back a little bit. I think the theory was we drafted him. He's going to be our guy. Let's let him take every rep. And I think because he needs to understand how important each situational rep is, I'd rather not waste it on a guy who's not going to be our kicker. We have a punter competition where we weren't going to have a kicker competition.
About 1 minute.
And I think every rep he gets with the team, every rep he gets in the stadium is going to make him better. So at the end, that was our thinking. It's a great question because a lot of teams, I think Cincinnati brought in their guy and kept some camp competition. But I think everybody knew who the kicker was going to be in Cincinnati. And I think the same thing is true here. So I like the fact that Andrew, and that was his idea. Like, what do you think? I'm like, hey, I'm all for it. We'll make sure we do a good job of limiting his kicks. We don't overkick him in camp.
One more. Kickers on practice squad.
We'll end up having a kicker, I'm sure, on practice squad at some point. We'll have what we did in the past. Whoever doesn't make a team, some of the guys that did really well in camp around the league, we'll have a tryout, unless they sign with the team that they're with, whatever the case may be. But I would assume we would have a punter or a kicker as a practice squad player. I don't know for sure yet. Yes, sir.
Sure. Were you joking, or did you really get emotional when you guys moved in the draft?
I'm an emotional guy, man. Come on.
I know you are, but
I can neither confirm nor deny that I shed tears that night.
I mean, I guess what was going through your mind in that moment?
Well, I knew we had talked about if there was a opportunity in the fourth round, if we traded, and I knew Andrew does a great job with all the trades and everything. But once we made that trade, I'm like, okay, game on. And my problem is I had to wait till Saturday. It was a tough 2 days, but yeah, I'm not going to confirm or deny that I shed tears of joy. And then even more tears of joy when we did pick him.
You're up.
The great Preef left. My exclusive one-on-one with Preef tomorrow on our program here, but he's an emotional man. There's no doubt about it. So I would say, if I had to guess, tears of joy may have been shed. I mean, at the same time, he understands what's worthy of tears of joy. And the last time I saw Mike Prefer shed tears of joy was when he was the acting head coach for the Browns, and we beat the Steelers in the wild card game in Pittsburgh. Because he looked back at his family and he knew what it meant to Cleveland. He talked about it in his presser. And he got emotional, and he's an awesome guy in that regard. When we come back, we're going to go around the league. Some news around the league, some good, some sad, some not good or bad, really, but just some news. And then at the bottom of the hour, we've got Mailbag Thursday. Gibbe is going to MC it. I know I've seen some questions come in already. I'm kind of pumped about them. We'll talk about all of that and more when we return here on Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. There's a lot of bad advice out there about gambling, from secret methods to picking lottery numbers to betting big when you're on a roll. These myths can lose you money and get you in a lot of trouble. So before you wager, find out what's real and what isn't at KeepingItFunOhio.com. Nathan Zegura, Jason Gibbs with you here at the Cross Country Mortgage Campus in Berea for Cleveland Browns Daily. And Gibby, it's time now to go around the league, and we start with some news about Frank Gore. Frank Gore signing a one-day contract with the 49ers, where he will retire as a 49er. Frank Gore, five-time Pro Bowler, was on the Hall of Fame All-Decades team for the All-2010s. At one point, from the year 2006 through the year 2016, he had 1,000 yards in every single season but two. For his career, he has rushed for 16,000 yards and 81 carries. And the question, Gibby, you say, is he a Hall of Famer? So his Pro Football Reference Hall of Fame monitor is 100.5. The average Hall of Famer is 106.95. He was a first-team All-Pro in 2006. You look at kind of like the career accolades. That's where it gets interesting in terms of, all-time leading, this, that, whatever. He's got, as we said, the 5 Pro Bowlers, 5 Players of the Week. He is career third in rushing yards all time, 16,000 rushing yards, third all time. But is that enough?
I feel like that's you played a long time.
He's 5th all time in all-purpose yards. Like, only 4 people have ever gained more yards than Frank Gore.
He had I think he was a fantastic player. Is he a Hall of Famer? I don't know. So I think eventually, yes. I definitely don't think first ballot, but
so he, according to their Pro Football Hall of Fame metrics, okay, he is ranked higher on their list than Thurman Thomas, Marcus Allen, Earl Campbell, Curtis Martin, Tony Dorsett, Jerome Bettis, John Riggins. John Riggins and Bettis are actually similar types of accumulators, and he is considered to be higher up the list than both of those guys. So maybe, and he's well-loved. Came back from 2 torn ACLs when that was supposed to be impossible. I think he gets in. I think he'll get in.
I don't think the first ballot.
I mean, there's something to be said, Gibbe, for being a running back who was able to play in 241 games. Like, there's something to that. That longevity at that position, there is something to that. I mean, the only people who have ever rushed for more yards than him in NFL history are Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton. That's it. That's the list. That's pretty good.
Yeah. No, I get it. I trust me. I'm a Frank Gore fan. I enjoy watching him play. I enjoyed watching him play. I just trying to figure out, it comes into that longevity question, and will that count against him?
He was still, at least he's got 1 All-Pro, and he's got, as we said, the 5 Pro Bowls. He was really, again, is it the Hall of Fame or is it the Hall of really good? There's no doubt that he was really, really good. He had his best year, 2006. He ran for 1,695 yards and 8 touchdowns that season. I think he certainly has the case to be able to be made that he is, in fact, a Hall of Famer. Will he be? That's what we'll find out. But I certainly wish him the best. Tom Brady saying that he felt pressure to end his retirement due to free agency, Gibbe.
It's an interesting story coming out from the match last night.
Yeah.
So basically, and this is, as I pull this up from the magical world of the internet, Jenna Lane, our good friend, wrote it. He put, at this stage, it's like 55% yes, 45% no. It's not 100%. That's just the reality. Brady said in a roundtable that aired on TNT following the match. It's not that I'm not 100% committed. It's just as soon as I make the commitment to do it, it's like, all right, here we go. It's like running a marathon. You can't decide 2 weeks before the marathon, hey, I'm going to start running.
Sure.
We've got right to free agency, and I felt some pressure to do it. I talked to the team and organization, and it all worked out. He was asked if he'd been ready to retire. He said, partly, yes. I think whether they're Mahomes and Allen's age, if you were to ask me, are you going to play football next year, I would say there's a 100% chance I'm playing. I think as I've gotten older, that's changed because I have other responsibilities.
Makes sense. Speaking of retirements, Ryan Fitzmagic announcing his retirement via a text that he sent to his former teammates, and he basically put together a montage that's got the names of every player he's ever played with.
It's pretty spectacular. 17 seasons?
17 seasons. He was picked the same year as Aaron Rodgers. He has the second most touchdown passes, obviously, from that 9 NFL teams. Amazing, honestly, that he never played for the Browns. He feels like he absolutely should have been our starting quarterback at one point during the last decade.
My God, it would have been unbelievable.
Oh, it would have been great. And reportedly, he has an opportunity to go ahead and work for Amazon. That's in the offing. So I think we're going to be hearing a lot from him in the near future. So certainly great career. Awesome guy. I remember his debut game, he came in, I want to say He was on the Rams, 7th-round pick, Mike Martz era. Bolger gets hurt, their backup gets hurt, and he comes in and throws for like 300 yards in the second half and leads and 3 touchdowns and led them to a come-from-behind victory against the Houston Texans, I believe.
Hell of a career. As good on as he was off.
Unbelievable. And as he got older,
chest hair, the outfits, the beard,
the pass that he made as a member of the Dolphins, the pass that he made against the Raiders, where he was like the helmet was turned on his head, he was completely blind, and was a huge play to beat them, was incredible.
Had a good career. Now he's going to get. He's made money. Now he's really going to make money if he's indeed signing with Amazon.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
By the way, from Michael Silver 15 minutes ago.
Okay.
7-time Pro Bowl center Alex Mack retiring after 13 seasons. Former Brown, Falcon, and 49ers standout. Was one of the top linemen of his era.
Gibbs, I told you. I had that locked in. Nate, Alex Mack's going to retire. J.C. Tretter's going to be a 49er. Write that down.
Told to me by my dad 2 weeks ago. I told you that, like this last week?
Yes, I believe you had that.
All right, so
step 1 complete, Nate.
Now, the question becomes who replaces him.
J.C. Tretter, I've already told you, Gibbs. Aren't you paying attention? Or
Well,
is
I
your
was
peepaw?
teeing you up for
Now
this.
that you're a peepaw, you can't hear as well.
You told me off the air. I was teeing you up. I was trying to make you look good, Pedro.
Give it. I had said it 2 seconds ago. Phase 1, Alex Mack retires. Phase 2, J.C. Tretter to the 49ers. That's what everybody's saying out here in the Bay Area. Nate, watch me drink my coffee. Spumoni.
Yeah, he was on. Okay, all right, Dad. Good for you.
I got one other bit of news for you. I don't know if you saw it yesterday.
Okay.
Can I interest you in the Falcons' red helmets?
Yeah, of course you can. It's beautiful. They're gorgeous.
That uni is pretty slick.
Yes.
I believe we made fun of it quite a bit last year, some of their new unis.
No,
but
but
that
the
throwback
old stuff is
ridiculous.
so good. Yes. So good. Absolutely.
NBA Finals tonight?
NBA Finals tonight. And then there's one other thing, sad news from around the NFL. Marion Barber.
Yeah, what's up
passes
with
away
that?
very young at the age of 38. And he was one of my favorite players. I thought the way that he would run, just everything about him I thought Marion Barber was just awesome. And I remember Hard Knocks, you found out that he could play the piano, and you're like, this guy is really just kind of a Renaissance man. And I loved Marion Barber, and I'm very sad, and it's certainly condolences to his family on his untimely passing. Dallas legend, and you go through and you see so many of the clips about him and what he was able to do, his physical running style with the best 2-yard run ever. A lot of people tweeted that one out. And he's just Marion Barber, great guy, great teammate. Everybody loved him. And I know a lot of people who were in the Cowboys organization, and he was very, very well liked, very, very respected. And gone, way too soon. And so it's very sad at the age of 38, Marion Barber played at Minnesota in college. But it also brings me to something else that I want to bring up about Marion Barber. I don't know, we all remember, I think, what Adam Schefter and the tweet about Dwayne Haskins, and it was basically Dwayne Haskins' first-round bust of the Washington football team, blah, 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 pass away. Like, did you see the ABC News tweet about Marion Barber?
No.
Just in, Marion Barber III, the former Dallas Cowboys running back who scored plenty of touchdowns without recording a 1,000-yard season, has died, the team said Wednesday. He was 30. Like, what is, without recording a 1,000-yard season, what does that have to do with anything? Why is that sentence in there? Like, what are we doing?
The man has passed away.
The man has passed away. Dwayne Haskins, young man, tragically loses his life. And you want to talk about that he was a bust. Like, what? What are we doing?
Click, click,
Let's
click,
have
click,
some,
click.
Yeah, but this is like...
someone's life being lost.
Yes, and this is ABC News, which is the same company that Adam Schefter works for at ESPN. It's just like we got to think about these things. We've got to be a little bit smarter about these things. And this is obviously very sad. And certainly, as I said, wishing his family the very best. Big Marion Barber guy. He was one of those guys where, like, you looked at him, the way that he played like a Madden game where you had a 99 truck stick rating, a 99 break tackle rating. You needed everybody to bring him down. And he had some monstrous seasons, because this was like, my peak fantasy football days when Marion Barber was running for the Dallas Cowboys. And he kind of was in that, what you would call like a thunder and lightning backfield, similar to Brandon Jacobs and Tiki, where they had Felix Jones, down in Dallas, and that was kind of the committee there. But Barber, he had 2 years. 2006, he had 14 touchdowns. 2007, he had 10 touchdowns, 975 yards. Over a 4-year period, he would have 38 touchdowns, which is pretty darn good on the ground for the Dallas Cowboys. Very short career, I think, due in large part to just how physical he ran and the wear and tear it took on his body, and gone way too soon. So R.I.P. to Marion Barber III. When we come back here on Cleveland Browns Daily, we're going to open up the mailbag. So your questions, ask us anything. Let's go. Me and Gibbe, the most interesting man in the world, the most interesting peepaw. He's here. I'm here. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, it is time now for the Mailbag. Ask CBD Mailbag Thursday, presented by Vivid Seats, an official fan experience partner of the Cleveland Browns. Gibby!
Hello, everybody.
Gibby, there it is. There's some mailbag music. Do we got good stuff today, Gibby?
We got a little bit. I haven't heard from Bobby. I wonder if his dad put him in timeout.
Because the guy's a legend?
I mean, I think Dad's trying to keep the man down.
Let's not hate greatness. You know what I mean?
But don't you feel like that could be the case? I haven't heard from him all day.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, let's not hate greatness. Bobby Meckling is a legend. Papa Meckling. Let's embrace it. Let's deal with it. Let's accept it.
I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on.
All right. We'll figure it out.
Kind of sad.
Kind of sad. All right.
Haven't heard from him. It's been okay today so far in the mailbag.
All right. What do you got?
Well, I mean, we have time. Good news. We'll get to some questions here.
Yeah.
Rooster wants to know. By the way, you can tweet the show at Browns_daily using the hashtag AskCBD. Are we expecting to carry 4 running backs on the roster this year?
I think so. I think so. I think that you will see Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Dearness Johnson, and Jerome Ford. I think Jerome Ford is going to make this roster. I think Jerome Ford is going to be a guy who plays very well for the Browns in the future. Now, his abilities could prompt a move above him, to free up some space if the Browns are able to do something that either helps them out from a cash standpoint or something that helps them out at a position that they determine ultimately to be a different position of need. But, yeah, the Browns are pretty loaded at running back, and as of right now today, I would see all 4 of those guys being on this football team.
At Browns_daily using the hashtag AskCBD. Spirit of CBD at on-off cough. Over under 5.5 years until Peepaw Gibby buys a motorhome. Number one, I've had a motorhome. I've driven it all over the East Coast.
Of course you have.
I've driven it
Is that when
up
you were
into
storm
Maine
chasing?
From Rhode Island. No. We had a fantastic RV, about a 30-footer from the Great Avalon RV. I drove it. My brother-in-law was supposed to help, and then he started drinking Gatorade and Tito's, and it went downhill from there. Great gig.
He would then not be a help as a driver.
He was not a help. We went to Rhode Island for my niece's high school graduation.
Okay.
Grabbed them, went up the coast, Boston into Maine, Kenny Bunkport.
Sure.
Yeah. All over the place.
Did you tee it up at the old Samoset? There's a nice golf course up there on the coast of Maine.
No, I did not. I did not get to do that. But then went over, the Rhode Island crew came home. We went to Niagara Falls, went all the way back to Cleveland.
So did you rent this for this occasion?
Yes.
Wow. Well, this person, what did he say? When are you going to buy one? I think I definitely see you with an RV.
I don't need that big a one. There are ones now that are quite nice.
Yeah.
That, a little more compact.
Okay.
The 30-footer is a little intimidating.
So you're not ruling it out, though, that you will one day own an RV?
Yeah, I might.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. I'll say over 5 years, but definitely
it's going to be over.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. What is the MJF promo last night?
Oh, man.
What is this?
Maxwell Jacob Friedman did a worked shoot promo, or maybe it was a straight-up shoot. We'll find out. On AEW, saying, basically telling the owner to fire him and calling him a bunch of names. And basically everything he said was true. I thought it was incredible. I would urge people who are fans of professional wrestling just to go check it out, watch the promo. MJF's a star, in my opinion, and would be the hottest free agent in wrestling if he becomes a free agent. Awesome. Incredible promo. Incredible. 10 out of 10. A+.
Will you be Cardona's pick in the Pick Your Poison big match coming up
Bishop?
June 17th?
No, but I'm glad. Great questions. Good job, guys. Yeah, AIW's next show at the Odeon, June the 17th.
Love the Odeon.
It's going to be awesome. We don't know the status yet of Matt Cardona, the AIW champion, who has a torn bicep and is going to have to get surgery. I've been talking to him, definitely bummed out about that. But Pick Your Poison match, he gets to pick the opponent for Joshua Bishop. I want no part of that. Joshua Bishop is probably 6'5", 265, and is an absolute animal.
Maybe Mo Pedman's cousin.
Maybe. I'm fine with that. But what I'm telling you is that you have a situation where Joshua Bishop is going to be a huge star in this business someday, and I do not want to be part of the carnage. I'm a Bishop guy. I'm a supporter of the intense icon. So, no, I do not want to oppose him.
All right. Dave tweets at the show, at Browns_Daily, using the hashtag AskCBD. Top 3 Tom Cruise movies. I had to bring this up.
Okay. Top Gun.
I might have to put Top Gun 2 in there.
I'm just going based off of, like, I haven't seen that yet, but I think Maverick will probably make it. Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I mean, there are 2 that I really, really like. The one with, I don't know if you ever saw it, with Cameron Diaz, Night and Day. With Me, Without Me. With Me, Without. It's a fantastic movie.
Cocktail.
Oh, there you go. War of the Worlds also was a very good movie.
Okay. Mission Impossible. The original Mission Impossible was awesome.
Yeah, the original. Yeah, I mean, you got Jerry Maguire.
Oh, Jerry Maguire. Sure.
Vanilla Sky.
Yeah.
A Few Good Men. I mean.
Yeah.
Days of Thunder, of course.
Yeah, but that's not. I mean, that's Top Gun on wheels, and Top Gun's better. I mean, Top Gun revolutionized recruiting for the Navy. I mean, that's how good of a movie it was.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wanted to be a naval aviator, me included.
He was in The Outsiders?
Yeah, he was in The Outsiders. Sure
How
was.
did I miss that?
He sure was.
Pony Boy, stay golden.
Where's Cocktail on this list?
This was just in order. I was just going in the order. He was in Taps.
There's another older one that I'm thinking of.
The Color of Money.
Color of Money is a great one.
He was in Rain Man with Dustin
Oh,
Hoffman.
gosh, Rain Man's a great film.
Born on the 4th of July.
He won the Academy Award for... oh, no, he did not. He actually lost it that year to Daniel Day-Lewis, who won it for My Two Left Feet.
Yeah.
And I was bummed. He plays Ron Kovic. Born on the 4th of July is an unbelievable movie.
The Firm.
Yep. Gosh.
I mean, there's some... Eyes Wide Shut was a weird one.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yes. Collateral. You got Reacher.
I mean, I think it's pretty good. I think we have a pretty solid list.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, incredible. Incredible job. Oh, what about Far and Away?
Yes.
Far and
That's on
Away.
here.
Great movie.
You forget how many good ones he's been in.
Yeah. What are, like, his first movies?
Let's see. I accidentally clicked out. 1 second. Coming back.
Cocktail.
In the order that they're in.
Yeah.
Endless Love.
Okay.
With Brooke Shields.
Okay.
Good job by him. Taps. The Outsiders. All the Right Moves.
All the Right Moves.
Risky Business.
That's the one I was thinking.
Risky
That's
Business.
the one that was eluding me. I knew there was a B. So yeah, Risky Business. That's the one. That's where he slides in the living room in Risky Business. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for.
That's the one.
That's the one. Okay.
I
All
mean,
right. Good stuff there.
Yeah, Cocktail wasn't until like movie number 8 or 9.
Okay. All right, what else we got, Gibby?
Kentucky Fried Christian. KF Christian.
Yeah.
You're going in for a PR in the gym. What song is playing in the headphones?
It's a great question. And it's honestly going to be, for me, either Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of, because I gotta get hyped up. Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson is also a possibility. And then My Time by the WWE, which was an older Triple H entrance song when he was still with like China, before the Game one. And the Game's also Time to Play the Game. I would play that one too with no problem. But those are the ones.
Richie Fox, by the way, hope you're feeling
Ned,
right.
yes,
I
get well soon.
I don't know what happened over the weekend. I saw some tweets.
He was attacked by a toilet, it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
I hope that toilet's in custody.
Yeesh. What are some summer cocktails you'll be enjoying on the reg?
Oh, for sure.
All of them, Richie. All of them.
Number one for me in the summer is a nice John Daly, which would be an Arnold Palmer with vodka. I also enjoy a great ranch water, thanks to our good friend Beau Bishop, which is just some tequila, some soda water. A Topo Chico would be the preferred soda water for this, and then a squeeze of a lime, like the juice of one lime. Mix that up. I'll also throw in a few jalapenos, fresh, chopped. Boom. By the way, can I just say nothing disappoints me more or leaves me more befuddled than when you order a jalapeno margarita and they put pickled jalapenos in it. Like, in what world could pickled jalapenos taste good in a drink? None.
Yeah, that's a common sense thing.
Yeah, don't do it. Say, no, I don't have any fresh jalapenos. Fine.
Yeah, not pickled. Fresh.
Not pickled. Fresh only. Please.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a society.
That's today's CBD mailbag.
That's it?
Might do some more tomorrow. Maybe we'll take some calls tomorrow.
Oh.
Madison, you up for taking
kids.
some calls tomorrow? Young Madison running the board?
Oh, yeah, I'm up for it.
She's up for it.
Well, be
Give it.
careful
You
what
got
you wish for.
graduations tonight. I have graduations tomorrow morning. Yours, obviously, high school. Mine, just a moving up ceremony, they call it, from 8th grade to high school.
It's a
for
big
my
deal,
daughter,
buddy.
Arden. It's a big
deal.
It's a big,
I've been there.
big end of the week here. Yeah, it is a big deal. I'm going to have a high schooler. All right, so much more to come here on this Thursday edition, Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, OTA number 6 in the books. The players will be off tomorrow for they finish up their final week of the OTAs next week, starting Monday here at the Cross Country Mortgage Campus in Berea. Tomorrow will be myself and Gibbe. Big show once again. We've got myself and Mike Prefer, exclusive 101, plus we'll hear from Alex Van Pelt and we'll hear from Joe Woods. So, lots of good stuff there.
We'll
today.
take your phone calls tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
A little higher or lower?
Uh-oh, better or
We got a
worse.
full show tomorrow.
Oh, big show. Graduations. Everybody enjoy your graduations if you have them as well. Stay safe out there. We love you. For Gibbe, I'm Nathan Zegura. Big thanks to Anthony Poisal for stopping by today.
30 seconds.
For the head coach, Kevin Stefanski, special teams coordinator Mike Prefer as well. And coming up next here, the next level is next. That's right, the next level is next. So thank you from all of us to all of you for listening to another edition of Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.